Deep in the emerald shadows of the Amazon, there's a tiny creature that looks more like a biology model than a living animal. It's called the glass frog. At first glance, it seems like any ordinary frog, with its lime green skin helping it blend into the leaves. But turn it over, and your jaw might drop. Its underbelly is completely transparent. You can actually see its beating heart, its organs, even the little veins flowing with life. It's like nature gave this frog a window into its soul. But here's the twist. This freaky transparency isn't just for show. Scientists believe the glass frog's see-through belly helps it hide from predators. When the frog rests on a leaf, its outline blurs into the green, making it harder to spot. It's a defense mechanism unlike anything else in the animal kingdom. And despite how delicate it looks, this frog has survived in one of the world's most brutal ecosystems. But as strange as it is to see inside a living animal, wait until you hear the next sound coming from the trees, a cry that sounds disturbingly human. Imagine trekking through the rainforest and suddenly hearing what sounds like a human child screaming in the distance. You freeze. Is someone hurt? Lost? But as you push through the thick brush, you realize it's not a child. It's a monkey, and it's staring straight at you. This is the howler monkey, one of the loudest land animals on Earth. Its calls can travel for over 3 miles through the forest. But it's not just the volume that's chilling, it's the tone. These monkeys produce a deep, hollow, almost mournful roar that has sent shivers down the spines of explorers for centuries. At night, their cries echo through the jungle like the wails of forgotten spirits. But these monkeys aren't just noise machines. Their haunting calls are a sophisticated warning system used to claim territory and avoid conflict with rival troops. They're also strangely human-like in their social behaviors, which makes the whole experience feel even creepier. Yet even this bone-chilling sound has nothing on what slithers silently beneath the jungle floor. No eyes, no sunlight, no mercy. Meet one of the Amazon's most unsettling secrets, the blind snake. It's not a worm, even though it looks exactly like one. This reptile has no functional eyes, relying entirely on touch and smell to navigate through the damp underground layers of the forest. But don't let its harmless appearance fool you. These snakes are ambush predators. They lurk in soft soil or decaying wood, waiting to strike insects and small animals with terrifying precision. Their mouths are tiny, but powerful enough to latch on and swallow prey whole. Even creepier, some species are so rarely seen that scientists still don't fully understand how they breed or what their full range of behaviors is. It's as if nature created them, then buried them. Literally, they've adapted perfectly to life in the dark, where eyes would only slow them down. But not all strange Amazon creatures lurk below the ground. Some flaunt their weirdness in plain sight, especially one bird that seems to have stepped right out of prehistory. When you first spot the Hoatzin bird, you might think you're seeing a mistake. Its feathers look like they've been ruffled by a hurricane, it smells like cow manure, and its chicks have claws on their wings. Yes, claws. Actual functional claws. This bird is a living fossil, a creature that hasn't changed much in millions of years. Scientists have long debated its evolutionary place, with some calling it the closest thing we have to a real-life dinosaur. The most mind-blowing part? When Hoatzin chicks fall from their nests into the water to escape predators, they climb back up trees using their wing claws, just like how prehistoric birds may have once done. Even its digestive system is bizarre. The Hoatzin is the only bird in the world that ferments leaves in its crop. Basically, it has a stomach like a cow's. That's why it smells so awful. Yet nothing prepares you for what's next. A delicate, beautiful butterfly that lives on something deeply unsettling. Butterflies are supposed to be symbols of beauty and grace, right? Not this one. Deep in the Amazon, there's a particular species that prefers carrion over nectar. Its delicate wings shimmer with color, but its habits are downright disturbing. It lands on dead animals and sips at the fluids leaking from their decomposing bodies. Some of these butterflies have even been caught drinking tears from turtles and caimans. They're after salts and minerals, essential for their survival in the rainforest. It's not aggression, it's just adaptation. But still, the image of a beautiful insect feeding on rotting meat or licking the eyeballs of another animal is something that sticks with you. And it gets even weirder from here, because deep in the mud, something even more unnatural is squirming, and it looks like it has a human face. It's hard to believe until you've seen it. A slimy, pulsating worm with what looks like a miniature human face staring back at you. This bizarre creature is known locally by a handful of names, but scientists refer to it as a type of planarian flatworm. It has 2 dark eye spots that resemble pupils and a flat head that gives it a shockingly humanoid appearance. When spotted in the wet soil or crawling on a leaf, it can stop you dead in your tracks. But that face isn't just creepy, it's deceptive. The worm uses its flattened head to sense its environment and hunt prey, often extending it in strange, alien-like ways. These worms can also regenerate any part of their bodies. Cut one in half, and each half can grow into a new worm, face and all. Some Amazon cultures even believe these creatures are spiritual omens, souls stuck between worlds. If the idea of a face-wearing worm wasn't enough, wait until you meet the 8-legged horror that can take down birds. Yes, it's real, and it's as terrifying as it sounds. Deep in the Amazon lives the Goliath bird eater, the largest spider on Earth by mass. With a leg span of nearly a foot, this hairy beast makes tarantulas look like toys. Despite its name, it doesn't feast on birds regularly, but it absolutely can. The spider hunts at night, using vibrations in the soil to locate prey. It pounces with lightning speed, stabbing its victim with fangs nearly an inch long and injecting venom. Crickets, frogs, mice, lizards, and yes, even birds. Nothing is off limits when this monster is hungry. But the scariest part? It doesn't need to bite to defend itself. When threatened, it rubs its legs together to release clouds of tiny hairs that can cause intense itching, burning, or even damage to the eyes of predators. Nature gave this spider everything it needs to rule its dark domain. And just when you think spiders are the worst, another frog leaps out of the shadows, with a trick so shocking it borders on science fiction. It's called the Corythomantis greeningi, but locals simply know it as the armor-headed frog. What sounds like a superhero name is actually a warning. This little amphibian has a defense mechanism so strange it still baffles scientists. When threatened, it drives sharp spines through its skin, coated in venom strong enough to melt the bones of small animals. This is no passive poison. The frog actively weaponizes its own body. Those spines are hidden in its skull and emerge like biological daggers when needed. If a predator tries to bite it, they're met with a mouthful of toxin that can cause massive internal damage. What's worse, this frog doesn't look dangerous. It's small, kind of cute, and easily overlooked, until it feels threatened. Then it becomes one of the most nightmarish creatures in the jungle. But even this venomous wonder doesn't compare to what flaps through the night sky, looking for warm blood to drink. Forget Hollywood vampires. Real ones live in the Amazon. The vampire bat is no myth. It's a very real, highly evolved predator with a thirst for warm blood. These bats are small, silent, and deadly. They sneak up on sleeping animals in the night, slice the skin open with razor-sharp teeth, and lap up the flowing blood. Their saliva contains a chemical that prevents clotting, so the blood keeps flowing. The victim doesn't even feel the bite until much later. It's not enough to kill, but it's enough to make you uneasy. These bats have even been known to target humans when other sources are scarce. What's most incredible is how they share blood. If one bat fails to feed, another will regurgitate some of its meal to keep it alive. It's a strange form of loyalty in a world of predators, but if you think drinking blood is creepy, just wait until you meet the fish with a smile that could haunt your dreams. The first time someone sees it, they usually laugh, until they realize it's not fake. The pacu fish has rows of flat, square teeth that look alarmingly human, like someone gave dentures to a trout. Found in Amazonian rivers, this relative of the piranha is a plant eater, but that doesn't make it harmless. These fish can grow over 3 feet long and have jaws powerful enough to crush nuts and seeds. In fact, locals sometimes call them ball cutters due to rumors, largely exaggerated, of attacks on male swimmers. While that's more myth than fact, the truth is strange enough. A fish that stares up at you from the water with what looks like a human grin. And it's not alone. Just around the bend, there's something that can literally walk on water. It sounds like a biblical miracle, but it's just another day for the Amazon's Jesus lizard. Officially called the basilisk, this reptile has one of the most jaw-dropping survival tricks in the rainforest. When threatened, it bolts upright on its hind legs and sprints, yes, sprints, across the surface of water. The trick lies in speed, light weight, and specially designed toes. The lizard slaps its feet hard against the water, creating tiny pockets of air to keep it from sinking. It can travel up to 15 feet before gravity catches up, giving it a massive head start from predators. What makes it even more fascinating is how it can switch from land to water to tree in seconds. It's a master of escape, a true jungle ninja. But while the basilisk runs from danger, some creatures in the Amazon have been here so long, they've watched danger evolve around them. Most animals alive today came long after the dinosaurs disappeared, but not all. Deep in the Amazon are species so ancient they've been crawling, swimming, or slithering since before T-Rex took its first bite. Take the arapaima, a massive air-breathing fish that can grow over 10 feet long. Its scales are so thick they deflect piranha attacks. This fish has been around for over 100 million years. Or the giant freshwater stingray, whose lineage dates back to the dawn of vertebrate evolution. These creatures are living fossils, unchanged, undisturbed, and perfectly adapted to survive chaos. Their resilience is what makes the Amazon a biological time capsule. But evolution didn't stop. Some animals didn't just survive, they transformed in ways almost magical. It's not just the animals that get weird in the Amazon, the plants join the madness too. Among the most sinister are carnivorous plants that lure, trap, and digest living prey. Take the pitcher plant, for example. Its deep, slick cavity smells like sweet nectar, drawing in bugs, frogs, and even small mammals. Once inside, there's no escape. The walls are slippery, and the liquid at the bottom is filled with digestive enzymes. Over time, the victim is broken down into nutrients the plant absorbs. It's like nature's version of a slow-cooking soup pot. There are even rumors of larger specimens capable of catching birds, though evidence remains scarce. Whether it's real or myth, the idea that even the plants here eat meat is enough to keep you looking over your shoulder. Still, some creatures would rather disappear completely and have mastered the art of mimicry like no others. You could stare right at it and never know it's alive. The Amazon's leaf-mimicking insect is a master of disguise. From its vein-like patterns to tiny bite marks on its wings, this bug looks exactly like a fallen leaf. It even sways side to side as it walks, copying the movement of a breeze-blown leaf on the forest floor. It's not just for show, this is survival. Predators don't waste energy on dead leaves, so being mistaken for one can mean life or death. Even birds and reptiles that hunt by movement often miss it entirely. Some of these insects take it even further, mimicking thorns, sticks, or even bird droppings. It's camouflage perfected over millions of years, and it works shockingly well. But if hiding is impressive, how about glowing? Because some of the next creatures don't blend in, they light up the night. The Amazon rainforest is pitch black at night, but not entirely. In certain places, it glows. That's because of a rare and eerie phenomenon, bioluminescence. Several creatures here, from insects to fungi, emit their own light in blues, greens, and even purples. Take the click beetle, for example. 2 glowing spots on its back light up like headlights, or the railroad worm, which lights up in segments like a moving train. Scientists believe these glows serve as warning signals, mating displays, or ways to attract prey. But the most haunting glow comes from fungi known as foxfire. These mushrooms radiate an otherworldly green light and grow on rotting wood, giving the forest floor a ghostly shimmer. It's a reminder that in the Amazon, the bizarre doesn't sleep. And speaking of bizarre, what if I told you some of the forest's smallest creatures can control the minds of others? This sounds like pure horror fiction, but it's real, and it happens every day in the Amazon. Deep in the undergrowth lives a fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, and it doesn't just kill insects, it hijacks their minds first. The fungus infects ants by releasing spores that attach to the body. Once inside, it takes control of the ant's central nervous system. The ant begins to act strangely, climbing up high stems, locking its jaws onto a leaf or twig, and then waiting to die. The fungus then erupts from the ant's head, releasing more spores to infect others. It's nature's version of a zombie apocalypse, only real and terrifyingly efficient. Entire colonies of ants can be wiped out if the infection spreads. Scientists have even documented graveyards of ant corpses, all locked in place, heads sprouting fungal stalks. But if a fungus can control minds, wait until you hear what the Amazon's most talented bird can mimic. It'll send shivers down your spine. The Amazon is full of strange sounds, but some of the most disturbing don't come from machinery. They come from the lyrebird, a mimicry master known for perfectly imitating chainsaws, camera shutters, alarms, and even human voices. While not native to the Amazon itself, similar mimicking species like the mockingbird and the superbly eerie capuchin bird have calls that sound mechanical or electronic, echoing through the jungle like ghosts of modern life. The capuchin bird, in particular, produces a sound that many describe as a low, buzzing moan, somewhere between a cow and an engine trying to start. Locals have mistaken these bird calls for spirits, warnings, or even voices in the trees. It's one of those moments where the forest plays tricks on you and makes you question what's real. And just when you think you've heard it all, the next creature doesn't care for water, but lives just fine without it. It sounds impossible, a fish that doesn't need water, but the Amazon is full of surprises. Meet the mudskipper's distant cousin, the walking catfish. During droughts, this creature leaves its shrinking puddle behind and wiggles across land in search of a better home. It breathes air through its skin and a special chamber near its gills, allowing it to survive for hours out of water. It uses its fins to walk or drag itself across mud, roots, and forest floor. It's not elegant, but it works. This ability gives the fish a huge survival advantage in the Amazon, where water levels rise and fall dramatically. In some cases, they've been seen crawling between ponds during the night, moving like some kind of half-dead snake. Still, not everything that crawls or glows in this jungle has been seen twice. Some have only been spotted once, and never again. The Amazon is so vast, so impenetrable, that many of its secrets have only been glimpsed a single time. A weird frog with translucent skin, a strange spider never documented again, or a glowing jellyfish-like creature seen just once floating in a flooded grove. These so-called one-hit wonders of the animal world are reminders of how much we still don't know. Some were captured in a photo, others collected and preserved, and many only described from memory. Scientists call them cryptic species, real but nearly impossible to study. There's an entire catalogue of Amazon life that may never be rediscovered. Whether they went extinct or just vanished deeper into the forest, no one knows. But the most mysterious creatures of all, they're the ones that challenge everything we thought we knew. Despite centuries of exploration, advanced satellites, and modern science, the Amazon still keeps its secrets. There are animals with unknown behaviors, parasites that break the rules of biology, and sounds recorded in the night with no known source. From enormous anacondas no one can verify to ape-like figures seen by tribes but never filmed, the list of unexplained phenomena is long and growing. Even scientists admit we've likely only identified a fraction of what lives in the rainforest. The truth is, the Amazon isn't just a place, it's a mystery, a living puzzle that refuses to be solved. And maybe that's why it fascinates us so much. Because just beyond the last tree, in the thickest part of the jungle, something is always watching.